often, when, after all, hardly a theme of Mozart taking the slow movements, let's say, of the concertos, that doesn't consist of first-year harmony. I mean, this wonderful theme in 491, that's all the harmony you learn in the first 3 months. Largely tonic and dominant, moving across the subdominant, and that's it. But what yes, something that you simply cannot analyze. Afternoon in her little hall out at Saint-Lô-la-Forêt, and I heard her play all the greater sonatas and things like I remember being completely bowled over by things like the Rondo in A minor, played as no one else that I'd ever heard had played them. They'd always be over-romanticized them, but she somehow played them, I don't know, in a way that one might almost have associated with early Chopin or something. She had, of course, being Polish, a wonderful sense of rubato. And when I heard Mozart playing like that, it was just love at first hearing, and so I went and studied with her, and that was the obvious thing, because I was not a harpsichordist, although I played it, but I preferred Bach on the harpsichord. I know that's a whole big question that we can't go into, but if you hear Wanda Landowska play the Chromatic Fantasia and Fugue of Bach, or let's say all the great pieces of Couperin and so on, you can't hear them afterwards on the piano at all. But she was, I thought, and remains for me, my ideal Mozart player. She played harpsichord and piano at these concerts. She always, in her younger days, always played the piano at the end of a concert, and her great, I won't call it stunt, because she was not a lady for stunts at all, but I think it was rather more sort of giving the public a lesson. She would play the whole of the A major sonata of Mozart with its Turkish finale on the piano, and then come back as an encore and play the Turkish finale on the harpsichord. And of course it was illuminated immediately. It was extremely Turkish. She was a great, great Mozart player. Of course, I adored Schnabel's playing of Mozart and other people's, but not in the same way. And she had this feeling, you know, for the 18th century in ornamentation and so on. And Nadia Boulanger, my other great teacher in Paris, but who didn't care for her particularly. These sorts of ladies don't get on usually. But she said, I must admit, two things. No one has ever had the rhythm of a Wanda Landowska.